So my name's Emma Ocha. If you've not been watching it, I've been doing a series on mindset and empowerment coaching, and I run a brand called Find Your Fierce. Pretty much proof is in the pudding. It's all about stepping into your power, owning your space, becoming intrinsically and authentically confident, knowing how to utilise your voice. Up in here, I bought this outfit and genuinely it's like 9 size. The bodysuit is just like, you're only seeing the top part of it, but it's a hot mess. Like, I don't understand how I'm meant to fit into any clothing brand. It's like my ass fits in, but my legs don't fit in. My shoulders are too small here. It's fitting my boobs. It's not fitting the waist. So, I give up. I'm going to start a clothing brand for all shapes and sizes so we can get over this, waiting on the delivery, then trying on the damn thing, and then sending it the hell back, and then waiting 92 days. Oh, I can't deal with it anymore. I'm starting a clothing brand. So today, procrastination. That's what's popping in here today. Thought this would be a good thing to talk about, procrastination, since I'm the queen of procrastination. And I think a lot of you lovely, beautiful women can relate and resonate. Rhymed. Dropping rhymes. So procrastination eradicates progression. Okay? I will convince myself that, now's not the right time. I'm not ready. How many times have you said I'm not ready? I don't know how many women from this group alone have got in touch with me after a talk, which I love, by the way. You're welcome to do that. I like to chat. But they've been like, I've been dying to start a podcast. Well, why the hell are you not starting a podcast? Oh, I'm not ready. I don't have the right mic. What? No. Like, that in itself, even when I would say that, if I would say something like that, I would know that that wasn't true. That's an excuse. You can start a podcast right now. See, when you get an iPhone and you get your upgrade and it comes through the door, you get given headphones. And the Queen of Confidence, who's my coach, because coaches always get coaches, Erica, she started her podcast with those headphones that you get, and she just would do it when she was driving. That's how she recorded that podcast. That's how that podcast has had 500,000 downloads in 2 years. So if you want to start a podcast and you're a mama and your kids are running wild, you can start your podcast and just base your podcast around your life. I was reading that it's called your culture ad. So if you've got a business idea, right? Let me simplify this. If you've got a business idea, or if you've got an idea for a podcast, or you've got a message, you've been through some shit, and you're like, wait a minute, I've been through this shit. I can help women like me. It's not just going to be me that's in this predicament, that's feeling so isolated, so alone, financially, in financial scarcity. I could be helping other women. So you would take that culture ad, you would take that personal experience that you have been living, breathing, eating, and you would create a brand around that, or create a message around that, and amplify that through a podcast, through a YouTube. See, the thing is, right, we waste so much time, damn time trying to sit in perfectionism and like trying to be perfect, and we don't have the perfect package, therefore I can't, therefore I will not. I'm going to wait till I'm ready, until I've got the artwork for the podcast, and then once I've got the artwork, I'm going to get someone to do my intro music, because I don't want it to be taken down. And then what I'll do is, I'll wait till I have like 10 topics, bang, 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 and then I'll put it out. Well, you're going to be waiting 2 years, girlfriend, because that ain't happening. There's always going to be something that gets in your way. So, and I'm, by the way, preaching from a place of, I just had to do this last night. I realised I had put my podcast off for, 4 months? And I was like, what have you actually done for this podcast? So yeah, I'd done all the artwork last night. It's pretty much ready to go. So that'll be launched in a few days. But the thing is, I realised I have a real issue with this. I will honestly sit and delay tasks, debt. Even if it's like a report or something that you need to write, it was for the accountant. I didn't want to do it because I just thought it's so difficult and it makes me feel small. Like I'm not smart enough. So let me just delay that and then make it worse. Because when you delay something, you feel instant ease, but there's this thing at the back of your mind telling you, shit's going to hit the fan because I've left this. And then it's like the day before you're meant to hand it in, or the day before you're meant to do something, or if it's a speech at a wedding, people tend to leave that kind of stuff to the day before or 2 days before. It's because we just feel so inadequate, or we don't feel we've got the right resources, we don't feel we're the right person for the job. But see, if you weren't the right person for the job, you wouldn't be getting asked to do it. People wouldn't be asking you about a podcast, or people wouldn't be saying to you, do you know something, you're really good at advice, or what you've been through is amazing, you could really help a lot of women. Listen, I'm getting married, would you do the speech? You know, people wouldn't think about you if they didn't think that you were the right candidate for their position. You know what I'm saying? So I got the actual meaning of procrastination because I love to rant. It means the action of delaying or postponing something. That's what it actually means. For me, I've felt that I felt like it's been linked to my lack of self-control. I think it is linked to psychological disorders like stress, depression. We all know that. But the fact that it's linked to a lack of self-control really had me looking at myself and looking at what I have put off and caused myself severe pain over the last decade. I'm talking about debt. I'm talking about the things we don't want to talk about because we don't want that. We don't want her knowing because then she knows that I've got that in finance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the real shit today. See if we just asked more of ourselves. See if we just said, right, why am I actually putting this off? So let's just take the podcast as an idea, right? The reason I've been putting it off, let me just confess now, is that I just felt like I didn't know enough. Even though the podcast is based around what I've been through in my life and finding empowerment the hard way and finding confidence and doing the damn thing on your own with no resources. Of course, so many people can relate to that. So then why am I so stuck in my own ego? I'm the person that's in my own way. And that will be the same for you in so many aspects. Think about something that you want to do. Think about something you have been looking at other people doing. There'll be someone you know that's doing something that you want to do and you know you can do it better. But you sit back and, oh yeah, I'm not ready, or what 9 excuses you're giving yourself. So see if you've got something you want to do, go out and do it now. Start today. Draw out, even if you're bad at art, draw out the artwork for your podcast. Get in touch with somebody who manages podcasts. Start looking up on YouTube, how do I host a podcast? Do you know what I mean? There's things that you can be doing. If it's debt, and I understand why that is, trust me, I understand why that's a hard one to tackle. But when I actually looked at it, I realised I wasn't even in that much debt. It was literally a fear of facing and phoning. And when you actually look at, right, okay, these are the letters I have. You just need to have a day where you can call one, write down the information, call the other, write down the information, and call the other, write down the information. And then you can create a go-to plan, an action plan that you know you are at least putting something towards that debt every single month. And it is, although it's not paying it off altogether, there's different methods for this. You're not paying it off altogether, but at least you know that bit by bit, that's chipping away at something. It's basically a psychological moment of you taking back control that you've lacked for so long. That's why debt, tasks, mundane tasks, or big opportunities that come. Something came my way 3 months ago and I just thought, she's made a mistake. She has made a mistake. She's got the wrong number. I was waffling on the phone, and it's a really big contract. It would be my first major contract, like big time. And I didn't know how, I was just like, blah, blah, blah. I handled it okay on the phone. And then I was like, oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. There's no way I can do that. I can't do all those. I can't take that on. I don't know how to do that. Like, somebody isn't going to look at what you provide or look at who you are or look at your product and go, nah, do you know what? They're not the right one. But let me actually go out my way, my busy day, and phone them up and ask them to take this full thing. Like, let me do that. Like, it's because there's something about you that is so captivating and interesting and needed, vital to their team. There is a reason. It's because we've got such lack of self-worth that we practice. So think about this. This is just one exercise, right? See if I was to say to you, see for once, see all today, this is an exercise, by the way, challenging you. For today, if you can actually make a conscious effort to note down all your negative inner thoughts, so your inner critic, I want you to actually consciously listen to it. Not that you're not already, but listen. I want you to write down what you're saying to yourself about yourself, yeah? Now, this sounds ridiculous and actually counterproductive, but just hear me out. Then I want you to also pay attention to what are you saying good about yourself, what are you saying encouraging towards yourself, nurturing, loving towards yourself, and write that on a separate piece of paper. So you'll be noting down the negative and you'll be noting down the positive, so you'll have 2 sheets of paper. It could just be a notepad, it doesn't need to be anything fancy. And come tonight, pay attention and really, really take note of what you're saying to yourself. It's quite an upsetting exercise, but you need it. Or you're just going to continue speaking to yourself like shit all day, every day, and wondering why you're not doing things. If you came to me and said, look, I'm really wanting to start this consulting business, but you know, kids are still in school, struggling here, not too sure about that, don't have contacts, and I said, listen, see if I knew anybody that was going to do this, it'd be you. You don't need to know how you're going to do it, you just need to know you're going to do it. How would that make you feel? You would actually feel like there was some kind of hope, or like, oh, God, someone else thinks I can do it. Like, maybe let me just try it. But if I was like that to you, what are you doing? Don't be stupid. There's no way. You're giving up a stable job, whatever. You're not going to feel amazing about it. So if someone's going to speak to you like that, you're not going to feel good about it. But if you're talking to yourself like that on a daily, then you're not going to get these things done. So do that exercise, although it's really intrusive and quite not amazing to do, but it's an amazing, impactful result. You get to see how you're speaking to yourself. You get to see the changes that you can make, because what you're doing right now isn't working for you, or you wouldn't be doing the exercise. Yeah. Some steps that I was thinking about as well was, which are you, I know you'll be laughing if you've been watching these. I don't really like giving like step 1 to happiness, step 2, you're gonna be fine. No. So these are just steps that helped me. The main step that has helped me in procrastination, since I'm actually like, I made up procrastination, that's how good at it I am. If I actually take a moment to just break down what the hell it is, I will get through it. It changes my mindset. If I can break down a larger mundane task into like achievable chunks, I'll get it done. An example of this is I'm working with an agency in London and creating a women empowerment and mindset coaching program. And it's a full new website, it's a full online program, portal, membership site, it's everything, it's the shebang. And I'm having to do all the filming and editing of the modules. I'm having to write all the content in 4 days. Obviously, I've done all this work over the past 3 years. However, see, condensing this into a few days, it's a lot of stress. So I've put that into 4 manageable days. I've told myself each day what I'm doing. I've given myself a reward. I'm not talking about food up in here. I've given myself a reward at the end of every day, so that I'm excited to get this done, so that I can get to the reward. So today's a really full day, but I know at the end of today, and I know you're going to be like, that's not really a reward, but it is for me. It's a really, really long walk around this really beautiful countryside, and I'm not going to be answering messages or anything. I'm going to be putting my music on, and I'm going to be walking and getting my exercise in, and that's me taking care of me. Does that make sense? If you think about it, right? I mean, I can't believe I just said a walk's a reward. Who am I? But if you're, think about your day-to-day life. You are busy, right? You're a busy, busy woman. See, getting time for yourself, that is a reward. That's you rewarding yourself and saying, see, for the next 2 hours, you're going to unwind, you're going to relax, you're going to listen to some music, you're going to feel good. You're going to might listen to podcasts. That's what I do as well. That makes me feel fired up. It makes me feel like I've got, it's the time to yourself. That's the word. Yes, Scully, yes. I love the way you spell your name. That's beautiful. Yes, that's it. And it's crazy even saying that out loud. I didn't even realise that until I just told you. I feel like you're like my best friends at this stage. I tell you things and I'm like, oh damn. Yeah, so if you're busy like that all day, I bet you're not taking time to exercise, or if you are exercising it's rushed, you're feeling guilty because you should be somewhere else. I feel like people need to actually have that moment where they're like, hold on, there is 24 hours, I can have like 2 hours to do my own thing, to go a walk, to not have to be there for somebody, because that's what it really comes down to. You don't feel like you're there for somebody, and that, what if someone calls? What if you're going off your damn head and you need time out? What if you need time to do your podcast, or phone the debt people, or talk to a manufacturer in another country about an idea that you have of starting a brand, starting a shop, starting a clothing line? If you're like me and you're tired of being tired, having to squeeze your body into these ridiculous clothing lines, please, if someone doesn't actually bring out a clothing line that's going to fit real bums, fit the boobies that aren't sitting propped up like this, if someone's not going to do that, I'm going to do it. It's going to be called All Shapes and Damn Sizes, because we need more love for ourselves. We need more time for ourselves. And I honestly, truly think if we had that and we dedicated prioritising ourselves, we wouldn't procrastinate as hard as we do. Because procrastination is us actually trying to hide from something. We're trying to delay the inevitable. But actually we're making it worse, because then it's going to hit harder. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't see the point of me being like I had some steps here, like build time in for delay, make a personal challenge out of mundane tasks, limit online time. You all know that. That's just condescending, because you already know that. But what you don't know is my love and energetic kick up the ass. It's just me telling you to pay attention, take a note of all the shit you're saying to yourself, negative inner critic, on one page, and the other page tell yourself what productive, positive, encouraging, enlightening things are you telling yourself that's going to help you get from A to Z. And if you can do that honestly and just put your ego aside and just look at what you're telling yourself and ask yourself, is this helping me? And if the answer is no, then you need to check yourself, because it's not doing you any good. Don't let procrastination win. 100%, I know that there's women that watch this on the replay. I know you're watching on the replay, because you tell me, and I know you've got ideas, and I know you've got bigger aspirations for yourself, and it is beautiful that you're a mum. I think being a mum is the most beautiful thing in the world, but you're not only a mum. You have another title. You are you, you know? You have aspirations and dreams. Unlock that shit and get it going. There is nothing more powerful than a woman. I'm telling you, like, you have unlimited potential. We are just stifled by bad relationships and allowing the inner critic and thinking that our thoughts are our own. You have more potential in there. You have way more to offer. You've got so much value. You're of such high worth. And if only you believed it, think of the shit you could achieve. You don't need no man telling you you're validated. You validate your damn self. So the last thing I'm going to leave you with, because I know I rant, but hopefully it's a good rant, is ask more of yourself, right? When I'm coaching anybody, I say you need to ask more of yourself. It's not good enough anymore to say I don't know, or I don't have time, or whatever. It's not good enough, or you wouldn't be here. Yeah. So ask more of yourself. Why are you actually procrastinating? That's what you need to ask. And then you'll probably be like, oh, the root reason is I'm not ready. But what does that actually mean? There's always 3 levels. When I talk about fear, so public speaking or fear, there's 3 levels to fear. So I don't want to do that. That doesn't seem like me. I won't be able to do it. Okay, what does that actually mean? What's the second layer? I'm not ready. What's underneath that? I'm not good enough, or judgment. Like a under-level reason, and it always comes back to judgment. I'm not good enough. I don't believe in myself. Something to do with, it's something that we don't want to face, right? You don't want to know that you're scared of people being judged. You like to tell yourself, like I do, oh, I don't care if people judge me. But Emma, you do. You do. Or you wouldn't be holding back on all this amazing magical stuff that you've got coming. I'm actually half annoyed at myself that it's taken me this time to now be going fully fledged, fully immersing myself into this brand now. And I feel like I've almost, well, I guess everything happens for a reason, but I feel like I could have brought it to the women that I love so much in my community way quicker. So maybe I'm just ready now. And maybe the product is ready now, the service is ready now. So love yourself a little bit more. Please do that exercise. Let me know how you get on. You can get me at Find Your Fierce Co on Facebook, that's my coaching page, or at Emma OCHIA _ on Instagram. Okay. I really hope this has served you, and I really do. If you would rather me speak on something else next week, I do have something planned, but if there's something that is specifically you feel would be something to speak about now with what's happening, then I'd be happy to take that on board. Please reach out. I love talking to you. Take care of yourself and know that you're a fierce woman.